Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
Alright, lads and lassies, Demetrius Andrade wins a 12-round unanimous decision over Liam Williams. Unanimous decision win. I expected that. That's what I said in my prediction video. It could so nearly have been over in 2 rounds. Demetrius Andrade, I said that he needed to come out early and really stamp his authority on Liam Williams, show him that he's not a guy who's just going to succumb to the pressure, that he's someone who is going to not just box, but he's also going to be able to hurt Liam Williams. And in the first round, that's exactly what he did. He threw the left hand straight out the bat, bit like what he did with Luke Keeler in his last fight, just straight out the bat, hit him with something hard, got Liam Williams respect. You know, at least he knew he was in with someone who could hurt him. And in the first round, Liam Williams really looked shaky. The uppercut, which I'll talk about in this fight later, a bit later in this fight, was absolutely perfect for Demetrius Andrade in this fight. That was his best punch in this fight. Some people would say the straight left. The uppercut he was throwing, Liam Williams had no answer for it. You know, in the first round, he had no answer for the uppercut. Come on to the 12th round, he still didn't really have an answer for the uppercut. He didn't really adjust. Liam Williams acknowledged the fact that Demetrius Andrade, if it's a pure boxing match, Demetrius Andrade wins this fight. He wanted to make it a war. He had moments of success in there, but they were few and far between. The first round kind of set the tone for what was to come in the second round. The second round came, and Demetrius Andrade, he landed a very, very quick 1-2 that put Liam Williams down. I spoke in my prediction video that I personally feel Liam Williams is an on-top fighter, that in aspect he's almost like a bit of a bully. I'm not saying he necessarily is, but he's kind of got that mentality where he's happy to, you know, be roughing you up, be, you know, putting it on you. But when the roles are reversed, he's not exactly comfy in that position. And when he went down in the second round, it was a good knockdown. He took his time getting up. I actually thought he was going to sit the count out personally, and he got up at like 9.5. Had this fight been in the UK, depending on the referee, they might have actually just waved it off, counted to 10, and just said no, it's too late. Because I've seen things like that happen in the UK, where like a fighter is down, they're down at 9.5, and you know, certain referees, certainly in the UK anyway, would just say, no, you're not up by 10. So I kind of thought, okay, how much longer is this fight going to go? In the third round, Demetrius Andrade kind of took his foot off the gas a little bit. He still won that round in my opinion, but it was definitely a more even round than the first two. Liam Williams' eye was swelling. It was worrying because he was actually blinking quite a lot in this fight, even when he wasn't getting hit. I always do find that a worry when a fighter starts just blinking a lot in a fight, you know, kind of was like that, especially when they're not being hit. I've seen that happen before, and it's not normally a good sign. But in the fourth round especially, that for me, that and the 9th round, they're the only 2 rounds I gave to Liam Williams. They were his best rounds. In the 4th round, he came out and he did start to pressure each other. He did make... I was watching this on The Zone, and they were saying that they felt Demetrius Andrade was getting a bit uncomfortable after the 4th round. I didn't. I just felt that he was taking I think he was always in control in this fight. He was in control of range. Even when it was up close, Liam Williams would have moments of success. He used his jab a little bit, which I said he should do. But whenever it got anyway kind of closer, whenever it got anyway, you know, kind of too close from each other, like, and he just held on, he just tied up, you know, and then he would get back on his bike, he would probe, he would shoot that left jab, he would land the left, or shoot that right jab, he'd land the left hook, or land the left straight left hand. He would switch to orthodox now and again, but he'd be constantly throwing that uppercut. He'd lead with the uppercut, or he'd slip and then lead with the uppercut, and he was having great success with it, you know. The one thing that I actually did notice is that, and I suspect this is probably why in a sec, but late on in the fight, the shots that Liam Williams was taking early on that were hurting him and that were dropping him, he was taking them a lot better late on in the fight. Now, what I think happened there is that Demetrius Andrade, you could see it in the first round, the first 2 rounds, he really came out and he loaded up and he threw them shots with meanness, intention and force. And I reckon that he took the sting out of his later shots away with that. I reckon that Demetrius Andrade was using his legs, he's probably trying to conserve strength, so that the shots probably didn't have the same sting on them late on in the fight as they did, you know, during the mid rounds or during the early rounds. But for my money, this was a good performance. The scorecards are 116, 111, and obviously 118, 109. Same as my scorecard. I only gave Liam Williams 2 rounds, the 4th and the 9th. Very good performance. I was impressed with Demetrius Andrade. Liam Williams, I really did think that if it got, I don't think he would have quit, but I did think that if it got too hard in there, like if Demetrius Andrade really was putting it on him, that we would see him capitulate a bit more than he did. He didn't. He held it together. The 6th round was an interesting one because Demetrius Andrade was complaining about like an eye poke or something, and Liam Williams just kind of stifled a laugh, and Demetrius Andrade was just like, don't do that. And as soon as he said don't do that, I kind of thought, should you really have said that? Maybe just make yourself look like you're complaining a bit. Well, it mattered for nothing because the 6th round was one of Demetrius Andrade's best rounds where he really stuck it on Liam Williams and he opened up with combinations and uppercuts. And I was like, yeah, this is a good performance. I've always felt that Demetrius Andrade, he is a very good fighter. A lot of people would look at Demetrius Andrade and say, well, he's not fought anybody. Like Liam Williams, probably his best win now at this stage. And people would look at him and say, well, he's not really fought anyone. Like he's fought guys like Cowan Dockwell, you know, Selecki, Luke Keeler, you know. Has he looked spectacular? Demetrius Andrade, when I look at his skill set, his movement, his punch selection, the way he is in the ring, the way he moves, the way he is in the pocket, the way he is, you know, on the outside, he can look a bit awkward at times, I'll admit that. But he is a very, very, very talented fighter. And I remember when he was meant to fight Billy Joe in 2018, I was only starting doing videos at the time, but I said he'll beat Billy Joe. And I still stand by that, and I'd pick him over Billy Joe now. I think that would be a stinker of a fight. Don't get me wrong, it would be a stinker. Two slick southpaws never equals good fight. But I've always felt Demetrius Andrade is a very good fighter. He's a very talented fighter. He's a very underrated fighter. He doesn't do himself any favours by not fighting, you know, the top guys. But, you know, he's on the right path now. I think the moments where he didn't look good in this fight, you know, were the rounds where, like, I think more so he was taking the rounds off. Because even if you see him in the clinches, he wasn't working in the clinches. He was conserving a lot of strength in the clinches. And in fact, if anything, you could hear Liam Williams breathing very heavily in the clinch because he was trying to, you know, close the ring off. He was trying to work a little bit, and then he was trying to hit anything, really. So, for my money, Demetrius Andrade, clear winner. Good performance, in my opinion. I thought he looked okay in this fight. I thought he looked very good. But early on, Demetrius always looked good very early on, but early on he looked world level. It looked like, you know, this was Liam Williams, this was Demetrius Andrade. But obviously it got closer as the fight went on, and, you know, the energy kind of went from Demetrius Andrade a bit. But overall, good performance. Happy with this. I didn't watch the post-fight interview, so I don't know who he's going to call out. I don't know who he's going to fight next. I would like to see him in there against Triple G or Charlo. I wouldn't mind either of them if he moves up to 168, because some people were saying maybe he's struggling a bit at 160, even though he's coming from 154. Maybe 168 is next. Okay, him against, you know, Canelo, the Canelo Saunders winner, or him against Saunders in general. I mean, I know that fight wouldn't be entertaining, you know, it wouldn't. It'd be a pure boxing match, you know, it'd be too slick. It'd be a pure boxing match. The purist would love it, but people looking to see a bit of a brawl, they wouldn't be in for a treat. Although saying that, it could catch fire, you never know. But in my opinion, it was a good performance from Demetrius Andrade. I was happy with it. It's a good little win to have. Liam Williams, we need to see what he does from here. You know, he looked out of his depth in the first 2 rounds, but for the rest of the fight, he didn't look out of his depth. Demetrius Andrade, onwards and upwards. We'll see where he goes from here. Gotta leave it here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What you think of this fight. How did you have it? Did you have it as wide as I did? Let me know what you think for Demetrius Andrade next. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you did. Subscribe, of course, if you're new. Hit the notification bell as well if you could. Help your boy out. Hashtag GMansRocks. You gotta get that in there. Oh, and I keep forgetting to do this, right? I'm doing it at the flipping end of the video. Subscriber of mine called Jay. Big up to him. I promised him a shout out. He knows what it's for. Big up to you, man. Appreciate the little bit. I'm not going to say what he's doing, but he's helping us out. So appreciate that. Big up to you, man. Lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Peace.